Mute your TV though. What's going on, people? Welcome to another watch along. I'm Diyar, joined by Hambo here as we're going to watch Palace unfortunately play against Man City away from home, and it's going to be a long game looking at that lineup. But thank you for joining us. You've sent your comments already before the game. There's lots of things going on with the lineup. We'll run you through it immediately. So first of all, let's talk with the defense. Checo Kouyaté is out, Hambo. Gareth Cahill comes in. I thought he's been solid so far this season, and it's going to be a big miss. But looking at the lineup in general, actually, let's start with the defense. Let's start with the lineup in general. Looking at the lineup, it is quite worrying, isn't it? Wilf isn't there because he's injured, it seems like. You got Benteke who got dropped, and there's a change in system. Yeah,
I'm trying to, because Sky was spending so much time talking about a 0-0 between Man United and Liverpool. I've been trying to get the details from Roy, but it's just come up on my phone, and he's saying that Zaha picked up a knock against Arsenal. I guarantee you that was when Xhaka stamped on his foot for and just didn't even get a card, let alone get looked at again. So it looks like he couldn't make it for that. Kouyaté, it says, oh dear, it says these things happen in a game of football. So it looks like Kouyaté's picked up a knock as well, unfortunately. So that's why those two are missing, and a bit of a surprise. But I think overall, you look at it, and you've got questions. I was talking on Twitter earlier. I'm trying to look at the positives and say that we've changed the system to match the opponent, and that's something I've wanted to see. And we've rotated the squad as well to some degree. Some of it forced, and some of it deliberate, like Benteke coming out, for example. But once again, you're stuck in that situation of questioning the decisions that have been made. Are you starting when he's been absolutely awful all season? There's nothing that suggests that Jordan Ayew leading the line in what seems like a 4-5-1 is the way to go. And I look at the way the side's been put together today. You've got three very similar players in the middle, so no place for Gyro. Again, doesn't seem to make too much logical sense. And Gyro's got a good history of playing against City. So again, you're questioning there. Wardy did great against Arsenal, but keeping his place when you've got Klein fit, I'm not sure about that. So other than PVA staying out the side and Guaita being in there, I'm not really sure how I feel about most of it. The only thing I could possibly really say that I would love to see but don't expect to see is if Eze's been given a bit more license to get in behind and around Ayew. If we try that, I could potentially see us getting enough of the ball, maybe 10, 15% of a half to maybe fashion a chance. That's how I feel.
They've only conceded 3 goals in the last 10 games. And when you look at this Palace side without Wilf, I'm more worried about us not even having a shot on target because they've been solid defensively. And Eze having more freedom, I guess that can be a positive. But I still feel like he's going to need support there because City now, we don't have Wilf up there, and we've got liability in Jordan Ayew, which I don't understand why he's starting this many games when he's been poor all season long. It makes zero sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense for a player who, yes, he performed last season, that hasn't performed this season. I would have started Michi, even though he hasn't been as good. It's something different. It's something different. He has consistent minutes. So you would start someone like him. But look, Jordan's starting out front. Eze's out wide. Hopefully, Eze can do his masterclass on what he does best. But going forwards, it is going to be miserable because looking at the lineup, it's 4-5-1. It looks like. And it's really
absolutely. I mean, the bits that I caught of what Roy said is he's talking about having to do all the running that we can to match Man City. So it's all about trying to deal with the threat that they offer and then not really caring about any threat from ourselves, quite frankly. So Jordan Ayew is in there to run a lot. That's what he's in there for. The only spark is going to be Eze.
You can run a lot, though.
Yeah, you will.
I can run a lot. What's so hard about running a lot? What's so special about it?
I know, mate. I just, for me, it smacks of just such negativity. And if you go into a game this negative, you just wonder what the hell is going to happen, especially if they get an early goal. But look, we've held out. We've got a couple of good draws, a couple of good wins against City in the past, and you kind of just hope that something magical happens out there. But look, I don't expect for 1 second to see Eze doing anything other than being parked out wide left, and I don't expect us to do anything in terms of building play.
I don't know if you can hear us.
I can now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
I'm at the Etihad, by the way.
Yeah, the Etihad. Yeah, look like it was snowing before. There's a bit of snow in the corner, but it's gone. But we're just talking about the lineup. The players are walking out now. We'll probably sync up in just a second. But lots of change. Well, there's changes to the system, Pat, and there's also changes to the players as well. What do you make of it?
System change 460. That's a great. I love that system change. I mean, listen, I'm so done with Hodgson at this point. I'm just so frustrated. I don't understand if you're gonna rotate the squad, then and I love Jay MacArthur, give him a rest and put Jarrow in there, because I don't know how we're gonna possess the ball with Luca, MacArthur, and McCarthy in the middle. I don't see how we're gonna get any part of that ball. I know what Luca does. Luca screens the back four. I know what MacArthur does. He's energetic. He creates stuff. But what does McCarthy do? Jarrow's
He's been so. I'll be honest. Last game, what was it against Wolves? He was poor, but before his injury, he was actually solid. I thought, you know what, McCarthy is a surplus, but he was solid. So unless he returns back to that form, then it might be worthwhile. But Gyro is still the better player over him. It as you said, it doesn't make any sense to have 3 players in midfield and not include your best midfielder, your best technical midfielder against a City side who's going to be pressuring you.
Exactly. That's my point. Again, I got nothing against McCarthy. He doesn't bring anything new that the other two can't do. So give me somebody that's going to possess the ball, pass the ball, can actually defend, was a central defender at some one point, instead of having a guy in there who's just going to, get a yellow card. And I mean, if he kicks De Bruyne all game, I'll be happy with that. But he won't do that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't understand that. And then he starts, So I'll go back to the Batshuayi. Why did we sign Batshuayi? What was the point? What was the point? It's so frustrating. It's the absolute disaster. It's worse than signing Patrick Bamford on loan. I mean, I don't understand it. You sign a guy who's a proven goal scorer, who did a decent job the first time. Then you don't even play when you get him the second time. I mean, I don't understand. The logic is just, it's beyond me. I don't get it.
Is Patrick super loud for you as well, Diyar? I've just had to turn him down in my earphone. I mean, I know you're excited already, Patrick. But I mean,
he's loud, but he ain't that loud.
Yeah. I'm totally on board with what Patrick's saying. Look, I don't like, even though I agree with him, I don't like to start the game essentially saying everything's already all wrong. I expect it to go horribly wrong. Exactly. But I'm not in any way disagreeing with the word you said, Patrick. You and I agree on this. But I'm trying to look at what we've done, and the only real positive is having 3 bodies in midfield. I just think they're the wrong bodies. They're just too similar. But hey, look, it's kicked off now, and
I got to turn the game on. Hold on.
Yeah, we'll sync up. So if you stop at a minute, I will stop. If you stop at a minute, then I can tell you when I've got 2 minutes. But if you're watching on Facebook and Twitter, head over to our YouTube channel, as we're only going to be live there for the game. So jumping on Facebook right now and Twitter. And let's see what's going to happen. Hambo, score prediction.
I think I'm going to go with 2-0 City. I don't see us creating anything at all. But I think we'll just keep it tight. It'll be damage limitation for the whole game, but I don't think we'll keep them out. I hope we do, and I hope we get a chance on the break. At the moment, although the game's just setting up, I'm trying to have a look at the positions. At the moment, I just don't see how we can. But I live in hope.
4-0. 4-0.
I'm going for 3-0. Let's see. All right, so Hambo's 2. I'm just in between you guys. I'm at the 3. Patrick's at 4-0. Watching Palace win 1-0. But let's see. Come on, let's try to be positive. Let's try and hopefully get a shot on target this game. That's my main objective. Not a goal, a shot on target. So would be good at this point.
We've given the ball away really badly straight away, and I forgot to pause it. So I'm going to pause on 1:15.
1:15. All right then. All right, then I'll let you know.
Paused on 1:15 now. So I mean, I've looked at the two wide players. So both Andros and Eze are noticeably narrower. Because there's 5 in midfield, you'd expect them to almost be hugging the touchline, but they're not. So they're a little bit more advanced than the 3 in the middle, but a little bit narrower than you might expect. So that's seemingly where we're going to try and link up with the front play if we do get an opportunity. Is those two tucking in a little bit? What do you want?
The problem with the 4-4-2 that we've had in the past is that we play so narrow. With the 4-5-1, at least when we play narrow, there's still going to be options a bit further out wide.
About 1:15 now for me.
Oh, yeah. So I'll let you know. I'm just approaching it right now. So 1:11, 1:12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
We're synced.
All right, cool. We're synced.
Good stuff.
So, yeah. So the problem I guess the positive is that even if we play narrow, there's still going to be players out wide, the likes of Andros and Eze, because we're playing 5 at midfield. So they're not going to all be holding hands, hopefully. So maybe it gives us a bit more defending. Thank you for the super chat, Big Red Machine. He says just became a Palace fan.
Oh, what have you done? What have you done, mate?
Well, no, mate, it's too low. Bad decision, mate. Bad decision.
It's easy to get tickets. I'm just telling you, you've come. Thank you for the super chat, but it's going to be difficult. You can already hear us pre-game and how we're nervous, but Salas is very good when Palace are playing well, but it's been a while since we've been on form there. So I think you've chosen the best club in terms of atmosphere, fan base, but in terms of football, oh geez, you're going to be for a ride.
And what an academy we have, huh? What an academy we have.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Maybe in the future,
I want to pick up on a few things. Obviously, the game is still going on, but very, very quickly, I'm getting some bullying in the chat from Nick and Mikey. It's to be expected. Some nice stuff from Nick initially, actually, saying that
Hambo is like one of the 2 characters from the 80s board game.
Yeah, Chris has been quite mean, but having said that, I am very much, that's how I model myself, and I'd like to appear in Guess Who in the next edition. It would be good, but no, in all fairness, and then Mikey's calling me shiny and Nick's agreeing, so thanks for that, guys, appreciate it. I've lost 4 stone, but don't worry about it, mate. Just focus on the shininess. Who knew you got shiny when you lost weight? Anyway, the game itself is, it's settling into that pattern that we expected. We've been a little bit wasteful when we've got the ball, but already you can see that there's not too many options when we do get it. We're getting forced right back into our own half here when we're trying to clear our lines, and that's going to be the problem all game. How do we deal with the fact that pressure is going to mount up continuously because we just can't get out of our own third, let alone our own half? And I'm interested to see how the players move and deal with that.
And
even Eze on the ball,
right? But then Hambo, but that's why you want to start Benteke. Because at least when you get the ball forward, you can hold the ball up more. And to start Ayew, I don't want to be anti. I actually still like him. It's just that to start him in this kind of a match when you don't have anybody to hold the ball up makes little sense. Now I'm noticing also that McCarthy's playing the left of the central 3 with Luca in the middle and McCarthy right. Is that correct so far?
Yeah, I think so. But there is a little bit of movement. I mean, Andros has popped up on the left-hand side here for a little bit. And,
I see
we actually got some good numbers forward and a bit of positional rotation, which was good to see. I think that's very much going to be once every now and then rather than a constant thing. But Andros is currently playing central midfield, so I'm not really sure. I think that's just a case of a gradually moving back to his position on the right.
He's drifting back there now,
again, I mean that part looked okay, but you go back to the Benteke question. It just goes back to Roy's comments, and I know you don't, Patrick, you don't like me mentioning his name, but
no, that's all right.
Pre-game, and it was pretty clear that Benteke came out because he doesn't expect Benteke to do the amount of running. They're just the chasing down and the harrowing, and harrying, not harrowing. I think the performance was harrowing by the end of it.
Which shows how we've approached this game. And I understand it to a certain extent, but the fact that we're talking about our striker not being as good defensively, it just shows what we're trying to do. Like we're talking about our striker not being able to run as much as Jordan Ayew. First of all, a striker, I understand it's literally 11v11 with Palace, and you have to defend as a team. But you can see it by the system. Look at it. We've got so many players in midfield. We've got Jordan Ayew who's tracking back as well. It's going to be one of them games, and I pray to God that we keep that 0-0.
Corner for City. De Bruyne just got free, and MacArthur had to come all the way back and block that one out. A couple of times the question came in from Callum Diyar about what's your views on Max Meyer being released. So I don't know if you wanted to answer that.
Yeah, so Max Meyer, I personally believe that he got mistreated at the club.
Yeah.
First of all, he was playing out of position. He was playing down the left-hand side, which I don't think is suited to that because he hasn't got the physical strength to be a left suit. And he hasn't got the pace as well. He's more of a technical player. So you put him in central positions, which we never saw. And second of all, he was treated harshly by Roy. There were so many games where Max Meyer could come into this Palace side and have a role when we've had players injured. But yet again, he hasn't even been on the bench recently. So it's the case of Max Meyer at Palace. He wasn't a flop because to be a flop, you need to play first of all regular minutes and you need to play in position. And it was just a case of us not giving Max the opportunities that he needs, and we didn't see that under him. So
that's some interesting conversations about it on Twitter. And one of the things that kind of occurred to me as I was talking, it's if you go back to when we signed him, we thought we were getting Johan Kabai's replacement, didn't we?
Yep. Right.
But it was actually Ruben Loftus-Cheek's replacement on the left-hand side of midfield, and it just never worked. And the reason he's gone now is, first of all, he was only ever going to run down his contract because he wanted freedom to move where he wanted,
right?
For the best possible wages. So that was always going to happen. So you might as well pay him off and let him go because you're not going to get anything out of it, and we're not going to use him. But I mean, the emergence of Eze as well in that position means he was never going to get a look in here anyway. And I think the fact that he hasn't featured in squads is all about kind of forcing that decision. So it's not really about what happened this season and the fact he's not in squads. It's what happened, for these 2.5 years, the entire time. And that was, we didn't play him centrally, where he's played the majority of his football. And we didn't, we had a role in mind for him that just simply didn't suit him. We had a role that didn't suit him, in a team that didn't suit him, and in a manager who didn't clearly rate him. So the whole thing, I have to call it a disaster, but I don't think it should reflect on the quality of the player at all. I think he's a very, very good footballer.
So, I'm happy for him. He's only 25 years old as well, so he's got time ahead of him. But what I'm worried about is that this is not only a Max situation. Victor Camarasa, we didn't see him at Palace as well. Right. And he's another player that's meant to be creative. Not as creative as Max or Eze, but he's still meant to be creative. And another player which we're seeing getting similar treatment, but not as bad, is Jairo Reed.
Yep.
So every type of creative player that we've got at the club, every type of technical player that we've got, we're literally pushing them away. And Roy Hodgson is not going to be Palace manager in the next 2 to 3 years' time. I can promise you that. Maybe next season he'll be one, but in the long term he isn't. So we are actually damaging our future by not using these players to the full potential. We're getting rid of all the creative players. We're relying on Eze and Zaha for the next 5 to 10 years.
So
I don't think Patrick.
I just want to throw a couple things in. One, I was a big Max Meyer fan. I mean, if people don't know, he was the captain of the German team that played against Neymar in the Olympic Games. He was the captain of that team that played. They lost to Brazil in the final. He's a quality player. Never got a chance to play here, which really bothers me. But Diyar makes a great point. Our manager has an issue with technical players. He did it with Cameras. He's done it with Maya. Let me tell you something. Had we not signed Zaha prior to him coming, think about when we signed Zaha. Who didn't want him? Tony Pulis. Why did we sign him back? Because Warnock wanted him. We probably wouldn't even have re-signed Wilf. And you've seen how he treated Wilf after certain matches and made comments about Wilf, etc. So Eze, he didn't, really want to play him until he basically forced to play him when Schlupp got hurt. I mean, there's an issue here with this manager. I want to see my team play decent football. And the fact that our manager just wants to put out the same players every week. Today we've got 7 players on the bench. We don't have a single academy player on the bench. Not a single academy player travel with our team when we have 2 key players injured. To me, the future doesn't look good. The sooner that Hodgson leaves, Father, I'm concerned the better we are. We've got a great U18 academy team, and it's going to be wasted on this manager.
I mean, look, he's going to go sooner rather than later anyway, just as a matter of course. But I'd like to just take that point, Patrick, and go back to something you said, Diyar, which is you're talking about Jairo. Right. If you look at the Max Meyer situation, you look at Camarasa, you look at a handful of other players who've not had opportunities, and you start thinking about what Jairo said about how why it took him as long as it did for him to start getting in the side, right? And Jairo talked about having to learn to do the other part of the game, didn't he? He said, I had to learn about the pace of the Premier League and what's expected of me in the Palace team. And that's what it comes down to. Eze, naturally, although he doesn't probably get enough credit for it, has quite a high work rate. He is prepared to run back. He is prepared to do the defensive work and relatively well. I think it goes unnoticed at times. But a player like Camarasa was, what people might call a luxury player. And it's the sort of player that you have to adjust your team to accommodate, right? Go back to the days of Darren Ambrose where Neil Warnock accommodated Ambrose. Warnock is a taskmaster who makes people do hard work all the time, but he always had 1 or 2 players that didn't have to muck in like that, didn't he? He always had the 1 or 2 that would make the difference in a game, and he let them get away with it. And that's the kind of thing that you need. That's a bit close. So that's the problem. Mayer, I don't think for want of trying, was never going to be trusted by Roy Hodgson to do the amount of work that was needed in the midfield in the role that he was given. But the sad thing is with Mayo is he's different to like the likes of Camarasa because I think he had it in him. You know, I think he had the ability to do that.
I never gave him a chance.
Yeah. That's why I don't think it was a flop. But what minute are you guys on? Because my Wi-Fi was
11:44. I'm on now. 11:45.
Okay, because my Wi-Fi wasn't. Yeah, my Wi-Fi wasn't on. That's why since the second minute I'll be out of sync. But it hasn't stopped so far. It's just I had to turn on my Wi-Fi. So I'm at 11:34. So
I'm going to pause for 20 seconds, 15 seconds. Sorry.
What minute are you on? I'll tell you when I'm there.
11:54.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Patrick's going to be a little bit ahead for a while, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'm watching on a different
51,
the normal.
52,
Sorry,
53,
I can't
54.
pause, unfortunately. So
yeah, don't worry, Patrick, it's fine.
Sorry.
It's only fractions, we don't mind.
Okay.
I was about 4 minutes ahead of Diyar in the last watch along. It was brilliant.
Because that was disastrous. It was literally in the second half. I was still in the first half. But so far we've been solid defensively in this 4-5-1 situation. I mean, Joe Ward back there tracking. And watching out for the long balls over the top, and they're going to be doing that. It's not going to be only on the floor. We have to deal with long balls as well, because we've got 5 players in the field, so of course they're going to be looking. We had
a little spell there. You know, we got players forward. They moved forward as a unit, and that that's okay. And we're doing okay. But you know, when it settles back into that pattern, and Andros is just about to count now. But when it settles back into that pattern where we are struggling to get out, that's the key moments of the game. You know, when we are. Throughout the course of this match, we're going to have luck on our side as well, because undoubtedly at some point that pressure will tell.
Well, stats-wise, right now, City have 72% possession. We have 28%, and neither team has a shot on goal, which is very good for both of us so far. So,
sure,
yeah.
So I'd say, and Andros for me has started the game really well because he's been movement's been excellent, quality's been great. He just seems really on it today, and that could be extremely important.
Yeah, going forward, I don't think we've got it though. I'll be honest with you. There's so many times where I've seen already in the first 13 minutes of the game where when we do have the ball, there's 2-3 City players on us, and we're not going forward as a team. So it's going to be hard getting shots in. But so far, looking at City, they haven't had a shot. So that is a positive because that's what this lineup is meant to do: hold City back rather than benefit us going forward.
Ooh, well done, Maka.
And just, nice ball. In them situations, you would have Benteke.
Yeah, for a header. He's not there, exactly. Of course, great
exactly. Not Eze.
It's all right.
I think Zaha's picked up an injury.
Yeah, there's a knock against in the game against Arsenal, and you know, if I was a betting man, which I often am, it was when Xhaka stood on his foot. I would say because that was pretty nasty.
Yeah, Chris says Man City will just wear us down with the passing and making us face and burn out the old players. Yeah, Chris,
I'm just going to wait and see what. I'll wait and see what happened with Patrick. Just made a noise about, so bear with us.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about it. I just forgot my head. I'll hold back as much as I can.
It's a 9-minute game. We have to remain concentrated till the last second of it, or they will punish us. Oh jeez. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Decision. But why did he do that though? You know what I mean? I'm not sure why he chose.
It's under pressure, but yeah.
Was he? I mean,
I mean, it's just confusion, isn't it? You know, just got caught under the ball. I did enjoy the exchange on Twitter about somebody complaining that Ward had clearly been to a barber's in lockdown. And
when did this happen?
Somebody tweeted and said, "That's a wifey haircut for sure." And then Joel Ward's wife replied and said, "Yes, it's a wifey haircut."
Did you really?
That's
great. That's great.
Not bad. Not too sure how long Zaha will be out for Zarkov. Hopefully not too long. Because,
I mean, they called it a knock, and whether you can believe it's a knock, Diyar, I don't know. You know, that kind of challenge on the top of the foot can break the metatarsal and that sort of stuff. But
exactly.
You hope it's not that. If it is, then it could be a long while, but not weeks rather than days. But you know, Zaha usually heals pretty quickly, doesn't he? So probably back next game.
Yeah, so just passing about. I like it. I just love Mitchell left back. It's just there. I don't have to. I'm not worried about it. They can come at Mitchell. His positioning and everything is way better than PVA's. And Eze's doing a lot of tracking back as well.
Christine is saying that Patrick, he should be Roy's replacement. How you feel about that? Do you want the stress of the job?
No, I don't do stress very well. And by the way, my record of not watching Patrick this year is almost undefeated. I didn't watch the Arsenal game because I was working and we got a point. I didn't watch Southampton United live. We won those two. So I mean, I don't know why I'm watching
why
today.
Are you here?
Exactly.
Then what is the point? What's the objective? Oh, lovely tie. Great interception. Just gonna be controlling it though.
Did you see Tompkins' comments after the Arsenal game?
Yeah, yes, I know what you're talking about. It's a dig at PVA. I love him for that because it's true. Yeah. They've got someone who can actually defend it. They don't have to be looking over their shoulders because PVA is going to be on the floor crying or something.
Those are pointed comments to say the least.
And PVA, of course, has now removed any sign of him in a Palace kit from his profile.
Remove himself from the club next, please. Just leave the club next. I beg.
It's a great step for him. Next up is actually me going away from the club. But the question is when.
How petty is that though to do that? Because like when you put that on Twitter or whatever in the chat, I actually went and looked. I'm like, wow, because it actually changed on my phone from the Palace picture to the Dutch football picture that he has the shirt. And I'm like, yeah, she must have just changed it. I mean, what baby?
Yeah, he's 30 years old as well. What minute are you on? Well, me and Hambo are on 17:52, 17:53, 17:54. 55,
I'm 25 seconds ahead of you, and again, because it's a streaming service called Peacock over here, I can't. It doesn't allow me to pause. I mean, I'll try it again. Don't
Patrick, it's fine. You can be our clue to what's about to happen. It's fine.
But that's never going to be. You know how I'm emotional, and that's not going to be a good thing. That's never a good thing.
I like to be prepared. Okay. I don't mind.
All right, no problem.
I mean, look, the two things that might happen: you might get up off your chair and scream in delight, and I'll be happy about that. And you might get up off your chair and shout your head off at the manager again, and I'll be fine with that too. But
what I will say, when we did the Spurs one, I knew Schlupp scored and I held it in, so I can. It depends.
Yeah, just try.
I'll try. Yeah, I'm an emotional being. It's not good. I'm very emotional. That's why I don't like the manager, because he's a. Anyway, not getting to that again.
with that hat on at certain angles, you are reminiscent of Clinton Morrison. Just so you know.
I love Clinton, so that's a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's possibly.
I could change it. Hold on.
What was that Eze shot there? That's just desperation. I think he saw Edison out of his line.
Eze tried to like a.
At least we had a shot, but not on target. So that's a positive. We've had a one shot. But
yeah. I mean, Roy will be upset because it wasn't a ball across the 6-yard box. But
can I ask a question? Quickly, going back to the subs, we have 7. Is that because everybody else is injured?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it is, right? So Kelly, Dan, Wilf, Kuyate, Schlupp. That's 5. Maya's gone. Okay, all right. That's pretty sad. All right.
It is. I mean, again, there must be a reason we can't pick a couple from the 23s to travel with the squad. Otherwise,
it's just Roy Hodgson is the reason.
Roy would pick 2 players to be on that bench if they were available, right?
You would, yeah, because he's always done that, right? Exactly.
Yeah. To be fair, it's best for the players, anyways. What's the point of traveling all the way up and wasting your time when? You're not going to play. You're just going to sit there and you're not going to play. Like,
you've got
0 chance because of your age.
Diyar, it's a great point you say that, right? But remember, Pierick played last year against Norwich. And also, I think just being around the first team is a good thing for players to just kind of get a feel for how things work. So I know what you're saying. They won't play. I get that part very rarely. But I think it's a good experience to get them in and around the squad. So, but again.
Do you remember when Pierick played against Liverpool? And since then, I don't think he's been in the Palace squad because he doesn't want to give Roy a wine. Roy said that because he's played at Liverpool for 10 minutes, he doesn't know a bottle of wine. That's why I prefer it if they say that at home. Save their money and also, save the hassle because you're not going to play. So just might as well watch Palace at home.
Just wait a couple more months.
couple
It's
more
the hope
months.
that kills you. But you're right. It's the hope that
Exactly.
kills. So you're right.
So a couple of things.
A
couple of things. Eze's doing pretty well, and it's clear that he is now the first choice set piece taker. Didn't put a particularly good one in there, but I do like to see that. I think that's finally taken that off of Luca. I think that actually will take a little bit of pressure off of him.
Similarly, after the league game could have been, but how long did it take?
Yeah, it's taken a bit longer. Also, Sean has picked out that IU's doing well, but Sean, I don't know if you remember, mate, but you're supposed to slag players off and then they score. So you should have said IU's doing terribly, and then he would have scored for us. So
exactly,
get it right, man.
Go on, Andros.
So maybe...
But he needs help. Okay, I like that. Mac is pushing forward. So it seems like Mac has got a more advanced role. But look, Ty's on overlap.
Just a bit slow from Eze.
Look back. We have to be wary of the camera now. Ty's back as well.
Is it Anthony Taylor the manager? Is Anthony Taylor the manager today? The referee.
No,
would you take Anthony Taylor as manager over Roy?
I would take anybody over Roy. I told you that already. I'm not even joking. At this point, I'm so down.
Yeah. Take that.
So over the top from De Bruyne. He's claiming a corner. I thought it looked deflected as well, so I assume it is a corner.
Oh, man.
It is a corner.
Yeah. Thanks, Patrick, for your glimpse into the future.
Exactly. I can confirm.
Just to clarify, everyone, Diyar and I are on 22 minutes and 30 seconds now. Patrick's a little bit ahead of us.
I'm about 20 seconds ahead, yeah.
Yeah. So far, all good. 25 minutes gone by, and City haven't had any major chances.
23 minutes gone by. To clarify.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Nice block.
I was going to say you ruined this, didn't you?
Exactly. Yeah, I might have jinxed it. Oh, geez, another block.
if it's 25 minutes, I am far ahead of you guys. So
Diyar, never say that again.
No.
Right.
Well, it was true until that point. Then we had like 5 blocks in a row. Jeez. I'm about 1 second behind. West Ham, Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea.
Like both of those might hit arms, but it's quite a high speed. They haven't shown the slow motion replay yet.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Good so far. So, Patrick, what minute are you on?
23:50 now.
Yeah, you're getting further ahead. How is time speeding up where you are?
It's America, mate.
He's not that further ahead. I'm on 23:35, 36.
Okay, I'm about 30 seconds ahead then. Half a minute. So whatever that means.
Diyar, you and I are exactly aligned. I'm just, because we are.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
We just like that.
You're in the same country. I hope so.
Yeah, but definitely. 0 shots on target for both teams so far. And our midfield's been solid because, let's be honest, they haven't had any chance of going through it so far. Jesus, every time
they're having to try and watch the runners though. We've got to be careful about being too static. They're in down the right side here. Silva back to De Bruyne.
I hate the back post. I hate it.
We are very susceptible there, aren't we?
Well done.
Oh, come on, defend. There we go. That's better.
We did.
Right. But yeah, you've got IU all the way back, on the edge of his own area defending. So unsurprisingly, the ball forward.
Oh my gosh, I tell you. If only Benteke was playing today, that's what I'm going to say.
I think that all their players must be averaging in our own half, all their positions.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, Andros.
Go on, Andros.
Yeah.
Go on, Andros.
Just watch.
He needs help. Why did Eze stop running?
Why wasn't Benteke in the box?
yeah, I see what you mean now.
A really good cross, good run, great run by Andros too.
It's so typical. Whenever we don't play the guy, we
see balls in the box every minute. Yeah, exactly.
So far,
that was such a loose pass. Why do that? Seriously.
Yeah,
my face.
Really poor.
Out.
Just managed to get it away for the corner, but that's all of our own doing. That was absolutely.
Can't afford something like that. Silly.
Yeah, like why would he try that? Just play it simple. As I said, you can't be stupid like at this game. You have to play it literally. Play the easy choices. Clean sheet is all that's required at this point.
Totally unnecessary corner given away there.
And De Bruyne. Oh.
Get it away. Actually move, though.
Oh shit! Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yep, 1-0 Man City. John Stones back post, typical.
Fucking hell!
It's always going to come.
Bro.
No, even, sorry, not back post. Sorry, center of the goal. So you can blame either the center halves. I'll see which one I want to pick. I will pick out. I will pick Mr. Gary Cahill over his head. Really poor.
I need to watch this
Seriously.
again. So it was a corner. It went out wide. Sterling's got lots of time in the ball.
Cahill's got Stones now.
It's
Then
Cahill.
passed him on and then left him. There's now 2 against.
Yeah.
Cahill. Seriously, I'm sorry. I'm just not a fan of him.
Let me see it again.
It's Cahill. It's Cahill.
Yeah, he's in no man's land. Fucking. There's so many guys inside the box. You have to pick out one. Just one play. God, mark someone and just be aware of your surroundings. As I said, one mistake will cost us. One mistake will cost us.
If I might get a little technical, Diyar, it's that kind of second phase of play, right? Because in the first phase of play, he's marking Stones man for man. After that, he lets Stones run off and just marks an area, right?
Exactly.
So, and how many times have we talked on these watch-alongs and seen it? Well, under Roy, where because of the way we go about things in terms of the mainly zonal marking, other than for the start of a set piece, that we have players marking a space when the opposition players are free to score. We see it way too often. Really, yeah. Just what can you say about that?
Now, what do we do? Like that's our game plan gone. Who do we have apart from Eze? That's
exactly.
We're not going to be able to do shit if we're going to be passing like that to absolutely nobody. Like seriously, like there is a player right next to you. That is a basic pass. You don't need legs to do that pass. It's so simple. Just
to pick out from the RPMD, says James MacArthur's ball toward is suicidal, and that is 100% right. Yeah. It doesn't excuse what happened after that, because you don't have to compound a mistake with a mistake,
right?
But if you defend the corner properly, it doesn't cost us really. But it just highlights it that more because we didn't defend the corner properly. As you can see, we're not going to do anything different. We're going to accept the 1-0 for a period of time.
Yeah, exactly.
We just have to pray that something gets created. That's it. We just have to pray.
They're just starting to find more spaces. They are.
Yeah, they are. It's not through the middle as well. It's out wide. Through the middle, we've been solid. And that's the annoying thing. One mistake cost us. We've been so good so far. Really good defensively. Really. And we haven't really said that much. But you can't do basic. Oh, it's annoying, man.
By the way, that's John Stones' first goal for Man City.
Oh, of course it is.
Typical. Just like
I mean, seriously. Give me a break.
Just like Traore when he scored against us in FA Cup. Right. I think that was his first goal in over a year. So, Palace.
Ridiculous.
I don't think it's a coincidence at this point, We do give these players hopes, but it's our defending. They just find spaces that they don't find when they face other teams.
Nah, it's the thing is, Diyar, we it's such fine margins. Like we actually, the way he manages for the clean sheet and hold for a 1-0, which I get, right? But
oh my days,
we can't make any mistakes. But it's not realistic. Everyone's gonna make mistakes. I mean, Kale made a mistake, but you're gonna make mistakes in games. The thing is, how do you get back in the game now? And with him managing, I don't have any hope for it because I don't know what we're gonna do to change things up. We're gonna play the same way for the next 55 minutes, maybe make a sub at 85 minutes.
That's what I'm saying, I was about to say 85, I'm not 55. We're going to be playing.
I will say this, right? I will say that up until that moment,
right.
I wasn't unhappy, right? I wasn't. Right. I was a little bit concerned about some of the things that were happening, but I thought we've been more of an attacking force than I thought we could possibly be with the lineup. So the actual changes, the system that changed, I'm all right with it. I'm just not sure where we go from here. Now we're 1-0 down.
Well, that's the thing, right, Hammer? So because he was playing to get that 0-0 at some point, maybe snatch a goal. But again, what do we do now?
Jordan shoots! Oh, jeez! Don't make a pass inside the box like that.
Did we appeal for that on MacArthur there?
Nah, he just waved it off. No review. Nah, there's nothing in that. He just played on.
Should have shot that. Would have been a shot on target. Oh, man. People are saying I was there for a pen. CPFC Red and Blue Army there for a pen.
He's a Palace fan.
Yeah. Even David Moyes was saying that.
I mean, obviously, I've only had one look at it, but it just looked like to me that the defender didn't get anywhere near the ball. Just sort of battered into him. It might have been that MacArthur was not going to get the ball. I'm not sure, but it looked dodgy to me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Just have to.
Well, I haven't seen replay of it yet, so they're showing it now, so I'll let you know.
All right.
Yeah. Who plays the ball? Nah, there's nothing in that. I mean, I mean, is it Diaz? Diaz, kind of runs into Ayu, but I don't think you'll see it in a second. I don't think it's a penalty, but I mean.
All right, I wasn't even looking at the right foul then, so there you go.
Oh. No, I'm sorry. MacArthur. Sorry, it was MacArthur.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I was
good.
That's it, showing it on my screen now. Yeah, are you into MacArthur?
I'm not too sure.
What do you think? No,
it's a contact sport. I don't think.
They just showed it pretty much at full pace, didn't they? So the problem was, there's nothing on the feet, but there might be something higher up. If he's essentially pushed him over, then it is a foul. But it was definitely upper body contact. But corner for City, headed out at the near post by Ayu, back doing some good defending. And obviously, we usually see Benteke in there, so very much.
The game is so simple. It's actually ridiculous. It's literally to go out wide. And the midfielders, all they do is ping out wide to the left or the right. The trap is in the box. And crosses went in. They're not trying to pass it through us. Because we're letting them have all the time on the ball. We need someone to pressure back so Kevin De Bruyne, even Sterling when he comes in centrally. They can just pick out them passes. Look, you said Jordan Ives. I mean, how many players can he run to? There's about 3 players there, and you can only run to 1. And look,
we're never going to be closing down City on their back line. It's just not going to happen, and a lot of teams won't either. You just have to kind of let them have the ball. But yeah, I agree with you that the problem being that because we're playing narrow, we just leave the space out wide. We see it all the time against us. It is an obvious game plan against us is to get the full-backs and wide midfielders right on the line because we won't go out there. So that pass is always on.
Look, Hambo, you saw it there as well. Look, they're literally, look how further up they're going and we're still not pressuring them. They're not shit. They are a good side. They're going to pick out them passes. So there's only so much you can sit back. I mean, this is not even the defenders. Look, we're talking about midfield. They're having all the time in the ball.
But you can see it. The Man City midfield could just wander out there as well. Got De Bruyne popping up there. Sterling then comes inside. It's very difficult for any of the team to really do anything about that right now. So there was a comment a minute ago from Barry Anderson that it'll be 2-0 soon, and you can unfortunately see it coming just through that one move that will just work for him. But fingers crossed we hold out.
It's the same thing. It's nothing. It's not like a tactical genius thing. It's just so simple from Pep. They know that we're going to sit back and literally, even when they're in our midfield, not even in the defense, we're not pressuring them. They got Kevin De Bruyne, one of the best midfielders in the world, pinging out passes, and we think, what? Who is he? Like Luka Milivojevic? It's Kevin De Bruyne. Close them out.
But yeah, plenty of teams. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate of it here. Plenty of teams will have tried a number of times to stop De Bruyne, and a lot of them would have failed. But I agree. When you give someone like that space, you are asking for trouble. Whether we're capable or not of denying him that space and not costing us in other areas, that's a different question. But free kick for City as we're watching it now.
Yeah.
Way over.
Yeah.
I agree, Sean. We're not playing terribly, but we're playing pretty much as we expected, and arguably a little bit better going forward than I expected. But it's not like the pattern of the game is unpredictable, is it?
We've only had 27 touches. The highest touches in this match is Andrew Townsend with 27.
Just to clarify that, Patrick, I had very low expectations.
Oh, okay. I had none, so I'm good.
Exactly.
I was hoping for better.
I saw the Wolf news.
Anything better than 7-0, I thought would be. I'm not even joking. I thought would be a win today. But this is the thing. This is what's become for me. I don't care anymore because as long as he's here, I don't care. We have no. He doesn't want to do anything but keep us up. So I'm sick of that whole agenda of keeping us up. So until he leaves, what's the point? Where we're gonna if we win today? Let's say if we had won today, what to do? What to finish 13th. I mean, you know, I mean, we're not going to go down. We're not going to get into Europe. I mean, what's the point? So I'm just like, I'm going through the motions. So again, anything better than 7-0 today will be a win.
I just want to say a shout out to Andros, man. He's actually been very solid. Like, even tracking back on the right hand side. They can't, like, they're targeting down our left because they know that Eze isn't as good as Andros in terms of going back. And Andros, even I'm looking at it right now, he's just there. He's at the right position and he's intercepting all them passes. He's been very solid for us on both sides.
He basically played as a second right back against Arsenal, didn't he? That was basically his role. He did that really well. Yeah, and Eze's done really well the other side as well. You can't fault them for the work they're doing, but it's all most of it's going back the other way, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Eze's had a little bit going forward. Andros has had a little bit going forward, but it is tough. And I guess, you know, we talked about it already, but it's just waiting it out until we have that moment where we decide to be a little bit braver, and it may never come.
I don't think it's ever going to come unless something changes in the second half. 37 minutes gone by. Yeah, it's looking horrible for us. Literally, John Stones he's playing in midfield.
Yeah, I know. It's watching us treat John Stones like he's Beckenbauer. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
This is hard, man. But through the middle, being good, it's just going out wide.
Yeah, you're saying they're just cutting us open there, and then Silver's in down the
right. We push him out wide. Have to close down Kevin. He's done. And then they go again.
I mean, look at just the whole. It's making me laugh. For just the horde of players that we've got in our own third there. Just everybody, every single. I mean, Ayew is still almost on the edge of our third, and that's it. Really.
Oh my days!
Yeah, they should have scored
that. That should
got away with one that.
Once again, down the left hand side, a ball to. I think who was that to? I can't tell. It was to
Gundogan, and then it was Gabriel Jesus.
And then he headed it back to Jesus. But luckily, we got away with it there. Should have been.
But you know what? I have to give credit. You know, the person you haven't heard from the entire first half has been Raheem Sterling. Kept him very quiet. I haven't seen him touch the ball or do anything. They've targeted the right side, which makes sense when you have two players that haven't played in the Premier League before, really, in Mitchell and Eze. You're going to target that side. They've done a good job, and they've neutralized Sterling on the other side, which is, you know, credit to both Ward and Townsend.
Yeah, for sure, Patrick. Yeah. AY said, "Come on, lads! I stayed up until 7 p.m. in England to watch this. Enjoyed that."
Good one. Busy schedule, I'm sure, with the lockdown, huh?
Yeah, well, that's it. You know, so much I had to sacrifice for this.
Yeah.
Barry, won't sign anyone in January. You're talking Bruno's Mark 2.
That's
I don't consider Man City a football club. Could say the same about Chelsea. Says they would more.
Don't read out his comments, Diyar. Come on, man.
Lost hope when heard Roy's pre-match interview. Well, I'm not confident. It was obvious the lineup. You don't even have to hear him say that. You look at the lineup, you can tell he's not confident with the way that we've shaped up. But as we've said so far, it has worked. Of course, that one mistake cost us. It hasn't been that bad. But
damage limitation. That's what this has become. So that's all it is. It was that way minute 1. It will be that way minute 90. Damage limitation. Keep the score down.
I've only got a total of 50 minutes plus injury time to watch the rest of it. It's, just dig in, guys.
Enthralling football.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this.
It's nice. It's nice to watch.
We're just watching them have a training session.
Yeah.
I watched this morning. I watched Motherwell play Rangers this morning. I don't know why, but Rangers were down a goal, and the whole last 3 minutes was them basically packed in the 18-yard box of Motherwell until they eventually got the draw. So this one reminds me of this is like a training match where the one team just gets the ball, the other team just going to defend, kick the ball out, comes back again, kick the ball out, comes back again. So I don't know.
Yeah.
As I said before the game, they've only conceded 3 goals in the last 10 games.
13 all season, yeah. The best defense in the league. So.
Oh my God! There's a terrible header from Ward there, straight back across his own penalty area.
He's not having a great game, Wardy, unfortunately.
Well, other than keeping Sterling quiet, you gave him credit for earlier on. But yeah,
I did say that. I did say that.
Stop arguing with yourself.
No, I'm not arguing with myself, but I'm thinking about that play there and the header he had before. I mean, he's making, he has kept Sterling quiet. So I'll give him credit for. I'm just saying he's made some things that kind of stick out over and above that. But you're right about the Sterling. I mean, keeping Sterling quiet is no mean feat.
I feel like we've got enough players in midfield when we do have the ball to go and try and pass our way out of it. But then again, have we got the right players for it? I would like to see Gyro come on in the second half because I feel like he is that player who's composed. What's the problem?
The problem is, Diyar, it's the kind of thing. What can we do about it? You can't really have that thought process when you're 1-0 down against Man City. It's almost impossible. If you start the game with an idea of how to get in front, you can then do this. You can squeeze the space, but we've seen Palace when they go behind. We talk about how great they are when they go ahead in terms of results, but we're terrible when we go behind in games. I think 19th, 18th in the league for our record when we go behind of earning points. So it doesn't bode well for us. So in terms of what can we change, it's very difficult to pick that out, isn't it? Because you're right. Bringing Gyro on to give something different in midfield might help, but the problem's further up the field, and then you have to make a sacrifice. And you just feel that if we sacrifice something, like sacrifice a player in midfield or even sacrifice a defender, this Man City side being ahead will know that they could just wait their moment and pick us off, and they absolutely will.
I don't think there's a big old sacrifice. I mean, they're not on midfield. Yes, they are solid together, but it's not like anyone is standing out. It's just the fact that they keep passing out wide. I would rather have someone who's technical midfield when we do get the ball and try to pick out them passes, because right now all three of our midfielders, yes, they are there, but they're not actually doing much apart from like stopping City break us down because City are going out wide. So,
but it's that problem, isn't it? When if you go and deal with the problem out wide, do they then just take the extra space in the middle and do
but is Jared that bad defensively though?
Say again, sorry.
Is Jared that bad defensively? When he does, if he
of
does
course
come
he isn't.
on,
No, of course he isn't.
Yeah, so exactly. So what's the issue with him coming on? It's not like he's a bad defender. It's not like putting Eze in central.
No. I suppose we're talking at cross purposes here. I'm saying if you just bring Gyro on like for like, you get a slightly different player, and I kind of agree with that. But I don't see it creating anything new because of what's ahead of him. So I'm saying you have to make a different change, as well.
I'll tell you right now, I take MacArthur off for Gyro because he's having a nightmare today. Seriously, he's not playing well. He really isn't. He's given the ball away so many times. I got to look at his passing stats because they've got to be really bad. I mean, I'm just watching him now give the ball away twice in succession.
Every time we get the ball, it's clear out to absolutely nobody. We need someone who can pick it up. Oh, that's fucking shit. I just saw that. Patrick. What is he doing?
Right. I don't know what he's doing. Seriously, I don't know what he's doing.
Time that he's done that. It's not even
75% pass success so far, which is better than I thought it would be.
It's not even a difficult pass or difficult touch. It's had that a couple of times now.
James McCarthy, passing rate 50%. McCarthy. 50%. A professional player in the Premier League is 50%. Half his passes. I could probably do that. I know Hambo could.
I am a
really love Hambo playing football.
50% passing. That is so bad. Oh my gosh.
Amber, you're looking at me like you don't know what I'm talking about. The other day when we were talking about the track.
I couldn't hear you. Say it again.
I'm saying we've already seen Hambo play. I don't think he can.
Ease up.
No, we've seen the highlights. We've seen the highlights of Hambo at Sellers Park. I sent it to the group.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. When
the ball came to him, he literally dummied it to nobody. Nobody even called for the ball.
It's not on my wavelength, man. They're not on my wavelength.
Exactly. That's not his fault.
Ozil just landed in Turkey. Jeez, I'm telling you, he's going to rip it apart. I can't wait.
Who's that?
I'm excited. Ozil.
Is it official?
Yeah, it's pretty much done. He's just landed in Turkey right now.
Oh, okay. Good for him.
Yeah, I'm happy.
That's nice. Foul. I thought that was half time. It must be pretty close, though.
Yeah. Well, approach half time. We'll get your thoughts in just a second. But also, let us know in the comments, what have you made of this first half? What would you change for the second half? We'll discuss it in just a second. Let's see Tyreek Mitchell take this free kick.
And then the whistle will go,
1-1.
obviously.
Yeah. I mean, Gareth Cahill's up there. Everyone's up there. And it's so shit. I think it's half time.
It is halftime. Yeah, it is.
It's half time.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Half time. Palace won. No, whoa. Man City won. Palace 0. Send in your comments. We'll read them out. But I'll start with you, Hambo, because we will sync up. We saw pretty much similar plays at the same time. Overall, I thought it was a decent first half. But of course, that one mistake did cost us. But in the second half, surely we need to change it about. We need to take risks because at this point, we're not going to really create any chances to score goals while City are 1-0 up.
I think, if you're just looking at the game in isolation, right, you can say we actually, we defended well. The system, the shape looked about right for stopping Man City. Okay, so that seems like a good thing to do. And obviously, you can be slightly disappointed that we didn't really create anything major. Although it was better than I expected. But as I said earlier, I got low expectations. But I think the problem we have is that probably everybody watching this at home, and certainly the three of us, basically just got roughly what we expected. We invited pressure on ourselves because it's Man City. We just went with that attitude of it's going to be really difficult. It's Man City. They're going to have loads of ball. They're going to run at us. We saw the same deficiencies in terms of leaving players out wide. And ultimately, the goal came from a really poor and unnecessary pass and terrible defending from a corner where, once again, experienced players are leaving the man to go free and marking nothing, And if we can't cut that out of our game, you're not going to get the results we've talked about before. People love to talk about Roy's record against the top six and how we, really up our game and play well. But, that's very much in the past. Now, this is what we do against the top six in general. We give them too much of the ball, too much respect, and we don't back ourselves. We could argue, would it have been different if Wilf was available? Who knows? But so I'm not devastated. I'm not devastated by the performance. I'm not going to criticise it overly, but I'm also not exactly intrigued by it. I'm frankly quite bored.
The reason why I'm saying that Wilf wouldn't have made a major difference is because when you're looking at Jordan Ayew so far in this game, he hasn't really had that much opportunities on the ball.
Right.
We've tried to put crosses into the box, but pretty much we've been going out wide down the right-hand side and putting crosses into the box, which there's no one there. So in the second half, don't know about you, Patrick, but sure, if Benteke is on the bench, he must be fit to play to a certain extent. So put him on and put on Diyar as well, and then try and put them balls over the top, over City defenders. Try to do something different because right now it's not working. When we do get the ball, what are we really trying to do? I mean, we started the game off well in terms of attacking down the right-hand side, but for the majority of the first half, we didn't really have a game plan. And I understand it because it's against City, but let's try something else. If we're going to hoof the ball, then have Benteke up there.
Yeah, and I would even say why not just put Batshuayi on at some point also and tell him to run around. I mean, he will run around, and he hasn't played since the Wolves game, I guess, the FA Cup game. Give him a chance because, again, who knows? He might be able to create opportunity out of nothing. I mean, out of our three strikers, he's probably as good as anybody else is creating something out of nothing. So why not give him a chance? But you're right. I mean, as far as making a change, we all know it's not going to happen. I mean, again, this is exactly what I expected. I'm not disappointed in the first half. It's what I expected. I'm disappointed in the way the goal was scored, but the fact that they were only up 1-0 to me is a bonus. Hambo had mentioned it before. We're 19th as far as coming back. We've got one time, I just looked it up, that we've come back, and that was the Tottenham match when we were down 1-0 and then Schlupp scored. We haven't come back in any other game we've fallen behind. We have not yet come behind in. So for that to happen again, it's going to take a great effort. But again, I can't fault the effort of the players, but it's what I expected us to do. I'd like to see more. But again, Gyro coming on will be great. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen until 85. If we're 1-0 down, he'll be content to just lose 1-0. I mean, we talked about that this year, last year. We know how the manager, he's not going to care. He'll talk after the game how we played well, we did this, that, and the other, and when there was one mistake cost us. But he'll be happy to lose 1-0 today. So I'm not going to get too upset about it at this point.
Yeah, I don't think it's a Will situation as well, as I said. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, before it goes too far, I want to pick out Ashley Newland's comment because it made me laugh so much. He said, "Should have just sat in the bath with the light off, dead half." Just enjoy that. Well done, mate.
Dead half, dead Palace.
I'll read out some exactly dead half, dead Palace. 0 shots on target. Well, at least we've had like 1 or 2 shots, I think.
But you know what? They're showing us the goal again, right? Stones comes. It's a great ball by De Bruyne, it really is. But Stones comes from behind, and no one picks him up. And the thing is, it's not like Tompkins can have to mark a tall centre forward because they don't have one on the pitch. So who was marking Stones if it wasn't one of those two? It's so frustrating. It's not Ayew. It's not going to be Luca or McCarthy. So why don't one of them just pick him up and clear the ball? I don't understand. He got between 2 of our central defenders to score a goal. That can't happen. The way it's supposed to be so regimented. It's ridiculous. Seriously. That's frustrating.
Ball into there's like 3 Palace players there. There's 3 Palace players there, and not single one of them decides to pick up John Stones.
Right.
Like, and there's not them holding hands, and then Gareth Cahill. I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
There was an intelligent run in there to take Tompkins out of the equation, and he has to come back in. You see him go with whoever is that Diyar, I think. He goes with him.
Another central defender, by the way.
Yeah.
I won't blame Woody. I don't know, because Woody had his player right next to him. And then he had to
it's central defenders. If Hambo said, if we're playing zonal, then one of the two have to attack that ball and clear it. I mean, that's how zonal marking works. You have a space, the ball comes to the area, it's your job to attack that ball and clear it. You know, regardless if there's 2 men in that spot or 1 man. So the fact that they went over Cahill's head and then Tompkins wasn't there is disappointing. But again, it happens, and what are you gonna do?
But there's no real the players that are in there, okay, in terms of the defence. So you've the 3 closest are Ward, Tompkins, and Cahill.
Cahill, right?
Those 3, there is no reason to switch off like that at all.
Right.
You know,
but you know it's coming.
And that's the worrying thing, right? You can point to all sorts of mistakes, and you can understand that people, human beings are fallible. But for those 3 to effectively switch off when the ball goes out initially from the corner, that I don't know what that says about the coaching, the organisation, the things that we praise the manager and coaching staff for, that they're supposed to bring to this team.
Exactly. We were solid last season. How many goals did we score in the Premier League? What, 31 in 38 games? Yeah. And we still managed to step comfortably despite losing 7 games in a row. And that's because of our defense. And this season, you can say that we changed the system to a 4-4-2, and like that, we ain't as solid. We've got less midfielders to go back and help the defenders. But there's so many situations that we've seen so far that it's just on the defenders. It's not even lack of midfielders not going and helping back. But one of them had to pick him up.
Yeah, but Diyar, I'll say in the last 3 matches, we've conceded 1 goal in the last 3 matches. So it was going to happen. You can't keep clean sheets every game. And the way that we set up, we're going to give up goals. So we have to find a way to score goals. You know what I mean? I know what you're saying. And we have definitely not been as good as last season, but we conceded 1 goal to Leicester. We had a clean sheet against Sheffield United and a clean sheet against Arsenal. So, I mean, this is Man City away. So, I mean, so.
Just for, in the interest of balance, Luke Cooper, he says we're still in this, boys. Bit of positivity.
That's
from
not
Luke.
balance. That's positivity. Thanks, Luke. We appreciate that.
But we are still in this, but I'm just thinking, are we going to create much in the second half playing with the same system? I was going to ask you guys. Do you look at how we've approached this game? Clearly, we don't want to lose 7-0 against the top side.
Exactly.
So do you understand if Roy doesn't change it about in the second half? Because yes, we can take a risk and we can go forward potentially with more attacking players and try to create chances. But then we saw what happened against Liverpool. We struggle defensively when we change the system. So do you understand it if Roy doesn't change it about and we keep with the same system?
Yeah, to a point I do, but it goes back to what I was saying earlier. The problem is that we've played the game this way around. We haven't. If you sort of have that system sorted out so you can attack properly and you can cause a threat straight away, and then you have to end up defending. It makes sense, but when you're already 1-0 down and you try and flip things and attack, you're exactly right. You could end up with the Liverpool situation where we went down, but we moved things about, we carried on attacking, and we got an absolute pasting. So, and that's very much on the cards if we do that. So it isn't an easy thing to do. I can't sit here and say I can see a way back into this game other than a bit of fortune, a bit of luck, or a moment of magic from someone. Those are the only things that I can think about. I don't think there's necessarily a system change that could do anything other than slightly change how Man City play against us. And that's why, you know, I'm not looking forward to the next 45 minutes. But as I said before, I always live in hope. I always live in hope that something different will happen and somebody will come off the bench and make a difference, or somebody will, you know, put their foot on the ball and play that great pass or whatever. So it is absolutely insane. It's a free agent. We can convince him.
We have to sign him back after what we've seen now.
Scott Banks.
So reading some of your comments, why only 7 subs? Why not put Banks on the bench? We already discussed this during our watch along in the first half, David. But it might be a case that then there's Roy Hodgson bit.
That's the answer.
No, but if you're trying to look at other reasons, there might be some people in a different bubble and all of that.
Diyar, different bubble is true, but didn't Villa play Liverpool with all of their academy players? I mean, again, but like I said, because I mean,
as I've said before, though, that might be a reason. That might be a reason, Patrick. But it's not like you're not aware of where your games are coming up, is it? So it's not like you can't make a plan that you have, because you get a match day squad and they're not all named on the bench, are they? So, you know, the idea that you can't build a couple of your better performing 23s or even 18s into a match day squad, so you can react to something like this if it happens, right? That would be good management and planning, wouldn't it?
It would be. And then take a look at, we left Jeffrey Schlupp 2 matches ago. We lost Meyer from the beginning of the season. So we've been down. Exactly right, Hambo. And I'm pretty sure I've seen the 23s training. I remember Parrish mentioned it, or someone mentioned over Christmas. There was a big thing about how they were training with the first team. So if they were training with the first team, they're not in that bubble. They can, you know what I'm saying? So that's a bunch of, I'm not going to say the word, but it's nonsense, because they were training with the first team. I'll go on my Twitter right now and I'll find the pictures of players that were training with the first team up to about a month ago.
I'm just saying that's another reason why.
The reason is you're being nice. The reason is Roy Hodgson. That's it. It's Hodgson.
I know that, but I'm just explaining what else it could potentially be. Because no one exactly knows 100%. So
I do.
Yeah, I think it's Roy Hodgson as well. But Mitchell says Mark. I don't know why I said Mitchell. Pellegrini is too good. I'm a City fan. Warnock played Bostock when he was 15. Nah, we haven't got Warnock. See, Matthew.
Warnock. Roy
sees Jason McArthur as a 15-year-old because he's a youth. You know, he's a youth. So it's not going to happen. I think Sam Hesketh from back of the nest said it. We've allocated our 2 under 28 roles, and that was Eze, and who else is playing that's under 28, and Mitchell. So, right. Yeah, we're not going to play more than 2 youngsters in the Spanish side, and we saw it against Wolves.
You've got to remember as well, though, it is all relative. You know, relative to Roy, James McArthur is a child. You know,
exactly. Everybody is.
That's what I'm saying. He is a youth. James McArthur is like playing a youth player for Roy Hodgson.
Anybody else is screen-showing American football at the moment?
Yeah, I don't know what's.
I don't know.
We can do a American football watch along. I don't mind that.
Game starts soon, doesn't it?
Diyar. Sorry, I've got a back of the nest thing in my head.
Yeah, there. It suits you.
Not sure about that. It's quite near a Manscaped t-shirt, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We can talk about Manscaped right now. You can use the code BOTN to get 20% off and free delivery as well on all Manscaped products. So, Hambo, have you used your Manscaped yet?
Absolutely, I have. Yeah. They sent us the whole package to try out, and I like to use the word package when talking about ball shaving. So, it's a magnificent set of equipment that they sent us, and rather than pay us any money, they told us, "Here, go have our products, use them, and talk about them." And they are fantastic. It makes you feel fresh, hygienic, and as Diyar says, BOTN, 20% off, free shipping. The lawnmower version 3.0 is a special piece of kit. You know, so to get on that,
there's other things as well. It's not only the lawnmower. There's a ball toner. There's a deodorant for your balls. So honestly, I didn't know these things existed. You know, what part of London I'm from, we don't really use a ball deodorant, and I've used it, and I'm telling you, it smells nice. Like if you want to go and spoil yourself for January, go and use the code BOTN and deodorant your balls. That's Manscaped work on the face as well. Those are done. I don't know. I've never tried it on the face. I was actually going to try it today because you can see I'm right now.
I don't want to speculate too much, but Albert, who does the preview show, posted a picture of some clippings from the Manscaped trimmer, and I'm going to say I think he cut his kid's hair with it. So it'll work wherever by the looks of it.
Well, the second half is kicked off. If you're watching on Facebook and Twitter, head over to our YouTube channel because we'll be discussing about Manscaped and Palace. Can we do something? Let's see.
Diyar, just so you know,
on YouTube because I acted like it's an outro, but it's not an outro. So yeah, pretend that didn't happen. Yes, what was saying.
I'll say just so you know, it's your video because you're sort of a bit choppy still. You basically froze like this for a little bit. I really enjoyed it.
Ball deodorant on your face, Diyar. What's the code again? It's BOTN. Mikey, you already know, but
yeah, he does know it. But you did also start saying BO2 at one point, which was wrong, isn't it? It's BOTN. Go to manscaped.com, enter it at the checkout.
Look at the description of the video. Simple. It's there.
Corner for City.
Yeah, hopefully 2-0. Ball deodorant on your face. I've never tried that, you know. Do you think I should? I think it's a bit risky though. You get rashes on my face. I don't want that.
Got a little bit lucky there with a little deflection off Mitchell. Just went into the arms of Guaita. So a little bit of panic at the start of the game. So City obviously come out with the blocks firing, really chasing us down in defence, putting us under pressure. And I suppose that's the only other thing that we can potentially look to do is if they do keep coming at us, we can try and spring a counter. But again, having the right players in the right positions, making that right pass, there's no real room for error if we want to create anything at all. So, I think we're expecting a tough half, and it's only a minute and a half in. It's certainly looking that way. Go on, Jordan. No, it's gone backwards again. Now forwards again. Now lost the ball.
Yeah, that's going to happen. Pressure in them. What can you do? It's a defensive lineup. He needs more support out there. Sterling.
I mean, I'm just trying to pick up on things.
He just untied. Stand up. Stand up. That's not a fucking foul.
Oi.
Hey. Yeah, language.
Language for me, please, when I get upset, not you.
Oh, you haven't seen me. I had this game.
I have.
Just to wrap up on a few comments, just around the testicles again.
Oh gosh.
just want to finish, just want to get these things out of the way, just so we're finished. There was a suggestion of using oil on your testicles. You don't want to do that, mate. Rapeseed oil. You don't want to do that. The Manscaped products are far better. So just to be 100% clear, manscaped.com. Christine's quite rightly said that the boxers are something special. They really are. And there you go. That would do. Just wanted to wrap those up completely, just so we finish and draw a line under that.
Okay, so looking at that, was that a penalty on Sterling? Nah, he just tripped over himself. But interesting, Sterling's moved down to the right-hand side now. So it seemed like Pep switched the players, so I don't know who's gone down to the left, but so it's going to be Sterling against Ty.
Gundogan probably. Gundogan probably.
Didn't have much to do against Joe Ward, so Pep is trying to get him more involved in the game. Let's see. Going to be different.
Yeah, there you go. A dynamic and inventive manager. Seeing even though he's 1-0 up, still looking at ways of making it better, giving that little bit extra advantage.
Not Gundogan, Patrick. That's Silva on that side.
Silva,
he's doing the basics right. Now, I'm not trying to discredit Pep, but it's so simple. Their game plan has been very simple. 5 in midfield. All right, we're going to play out wide, put crosses into the box. Oh, Sterling, it's not working. All right, let's try something else. It's not that he's doing rocket science there. It's just the basics.
No. And obviously it makes it easier when you've got that type of quality to move around and,
Yeah, it does help.
But, if we had a squad of probably half that good,
Roy wouldn't use them.
No, true. They'd all be on the bench and playing for the 23s, but
they'd be too good to play for us. Too creative, too young, too exciting.
Out for family business. That's where it's at. But yeah. Oh,
there we go. We've gone quiet because it's just a lot of Man City having the ball and moving it around at the moment, as you would expect. Palace still keeping that shape, still not really looking like we've got any kind of a plan really to spring forward yet, but we're expecting that in around 40 minutes time, aren't we? So
which will be exactly 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I
have to laugh at watching Palace now because I used to get so upset, but I'm just waiting. I'm counting the days down. It's like waiting for Trump to leave office on Wednesday. Same thing here. I'm just waiting for Hodgson to leave office.
I wonder if he'll get impeached after he goes.
You know what? Even I wouldn't want him to be impeached. Just leave.
He doesn't want to retire. The guy doesn't want to retire. That's the scary thing. CPFC Nate, thanks for the super chat. At least we have next week off, so we can't lose next week. Hooray! Yeah, that's a positive. Come on, push forward.
The FA Cup, right?
Can I just say, Nate is single-handedly funding our streaming costs. So you are an absolute legend, mate. Well done. Thanks. Not single-handedly. Everyone who donates is hugely appreciated. But it's pretty much every show.
Come on, ref.
Thanks for that, Nate. Appreciate it a lot.
Cheers, Nate.
See this one swung into the box. Oh dear, oh dear. Fine margins, isn't it, between us getting that out and going 2-0 down?
It gets worse. Watch this.
Yeah. Well, if we've got next week off, let's just go and attack.
Guys, what happened with Luca there?
Exactly. Gundogan happened to Luca.
Yeah, I mean, he already had a fight. He already had a fight recently, so I don't think that's gonna hurt him a lot. To be fair,
we haven't mentioned that, by the way. So, what do you think? What do you make of that alleged fight?
I'm disappointed in Luca. I thought Luca would be way more strong. How are you getting tackled down by Batshuayi? Come on, Luca. Come on, Batshuayi.
I have to say, I hated that being a story. That happens week in, week out. Yeah. Every time, up and down the land. It's nothing. You always get that, and all that's happened there is, there's two people trying to, a captain trying to motivate a loanee who's not playing. That's what's happened there. And fair play. Have a ruck, and then you sort it out in the changing room, and then you get on with things. You don't need that stuff in the press. It's really pathetic journalism. Wasn't it former Croydon advertiser journalist Sammy Mockbell who did that?
Was it?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, really pathetic for a supposed Palace fan. But, what can you say?
Well, look, I don't know, but I'm just more concerned about Luca losing that battle. Apparently, he lost it. Apparently, he was on the floor. That don't sit right with me because I had high hopes for Luca. He's meant to be this strong guy. I thought he would handle Batshuayi. Batshuayi seemed like a funny guy. I didn't know he had in his locker, but I guess that was one thing to look out for in Batshuayi. He's a fighter.
I think he's got hidden strengths as Batshuayi. I think if you rile him up, mate, he'd tear you apart.
Hidden attributes.
What did I say?
No, I just like the word attribute when it comes to Football Manager. Sorry.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I never should have introduced you to that game. It's a huge
mistake. No, seriously, you have created a monster. I can't say how many saves I have going. I even Dulwich Hamlet right now at this point.
Really?
Yeah, I figured I'd try something different.
Have you tried starting the game like on the lowest possible manager stats without a club and then trying to get a job?
No, this is the thing. Because that's not fun. I mean,
it's not fun at all.
But I think Imagine Palace is difficult because of when they start this season, all the injuries that they have is really difficult to get through to get to December. But Bromley and Dulwich is what I've tried those two. Just tried non-league, but it's not. I'm not going to do that. It's just like.
Oh, this is so hard to watch, man.
Hello, Christian. How are you, mate? You all right on the bench? Look cold.
You see the action areas, Diyar.
Action areas, 9%. You don't even need the stats to see how poor we are. Just look at us. You can't get our
sorry, Christine's made a great point. She talked about laughing at how animated Roy is on the bench. I was playing the trial of FIFA 21 because they basically, I don't know why, they've got Roy's head on Bruce Willis's body for some reason in that game.
Oh, wow.
But also, there was a little switch to the sidelines and Roy was just going like that, like celebrating the goal. It's like, come on, do your research. He just
see that.
down.
Yeah. That's not him at all, yeah.
on my FIFA, because I got the PS5. When we scored a goal, Roy started running down the touchline. Imagine that. Imagine
that was Ray Lewington, mate, running down the side. That wasn't Roy.
Right, it was Roy on my game. I was like, what on earth is going on? Roy is running down with the rest of the bench. I've never seen Palace like that in my life. Oh, but yeah. Talking about FIFA because there's nothing going on. The City goalkeeper touched the ball. Yeah, exactly, Nick. To be fair, we haven't even seen him much in this game. Especially in the second half, he's a bit worse now. With Sterling down the right hand side. Because Kevin De Bruyne is supporting him. The both of them it's going to be pain. Just trying to stop them.
Yeah, look, positives. We're 10 minutes into the half and we haven't conceded any more goals. Negatives. I don't know what we're trying to do right now, other than keep them from scoring more goals.
Yeah.
Corner for City again. Pressure building.
Well, if you're enjoying this, leave a like and subscribe, as it helps out massively. So,
you know what?
Yeah, I can sense something, Patrick.
The thing is, we just do things that are so stupid. We're such a stupid, just stupid. Seriously, just stupid. Just stupid.
Let's have a look at this stupid thing we're about to do.
Just watch this stupidity. Seriously.
Again, corner come out, but then give the ball away on the box. Gundogan, good goal.
But what is Andrew trying to do there? Is he serious? Just get rid of the ball. Why would you try and control the ball at the box with the guy closing you down? That's just stupid. Seriously, the goal is a brilliant goal. You know what? But come on, he shouldn't get to that. There's no reason for him to just clear that ball out. Seriously, I don't know what he's doing there. That is so stupid and frustrating. It really is.
Luke heads it out to Andrew. He tries to take it down in front of Gundogan. And it's a brilliant finish, but that was stupid from us, as Patrick said.
Yeah.
Why on earth are you trying to bring down the ball?
A really obvious point. People understandably, frustrated at Andros. This is what happens when you got a play like Andros acting as a defender all game.
Yeah, you're right.
He's not smart enough to defend naturally there. A defender or an established midfielder, who's used to playing in that position, heads that ball, don't they? They head that ball out because you cannot take a ball down on the edge of your own penalty area from clearing from a corner. But when you've spent most of your career as a right or left-sided forward player,
oh my days, Vicente, what the fuck are you doing now? Jeez. What's going on? Sam, look, what Sam said is so true. We can't string a pass together. Seriously, we cannot pass the ball. It makes no sense. Why can't we pass the ball?
Because you have McCarthy, and Andrew, Luka in the middle of the midfield. That's why he can't pass the ball. The best passer's on the bench. That's why he can't pass the ball. You got 3 midfielders that can't pass the ball today. That's why.
Hambo, I told you, let's bring on Gyro for the second half. You're telling me, the midfielder's going to be nice. You don't want to balance it.
You just invented my side of the conversation now.
This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen now, where we're just going to continue getting absolutely battered. No one can pass the ball. We got midfielders who are just there for the bounce.
I object to that. I actually agreed with you, but I just made the point that it's not going to change much because the problem's further forward, and you've just completely misrepresented.
What are the problems? Is it further forward? Is it further forward? We can't even get forward to have problems.
No, I know. I'm just saying it wouldn't have changed the pattern of the game. That's what I was saying. It certainly would have improved the quality. Who's he going to pass to? Who the hell is he going to pass to? Nobody. But look, it is what it is. But what made me really angry there was the shot of Roy on the touchline, kind of shaking his head like, you guys. Honestly,
he doesn't care. He doesn't care. The guy is going to go and retire, and he doesn't care. What's his ambitions? He's already sorted out his managerial career. He's managed England. He's gone all around the world.
He's not interested in retiring, man. He wants to carry on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But
and it's on Palace. It's on us. He's not Mr. Crystal Palace. It's on us. So if he wants to continue and we feel like he's not going to bring us to the next level, it's on us. It's not on.
He hasn't got a new contract, has he? So people might seem to agree with you there. So it is what it is, isn't it? As a statement, he is not the man to take us forward. I don't think anybody thinks that he is. And at the moment, the club haven't offered him the chance to say otherwise, have they? But going back to your point about why we can't pass, I would say what's worse than that is the level of confidence that it's just how fragile it is. When we conceded today, the quality went down straight away, and then we conceded another one, and the quality's gone down further. You know, this is not a team that's actually shaking off poor form and dealing with the fact that we've struggled for a lot of the season. This is a team where the good performances are going to be the minority for the rest of the season. We are not. There's the belief in the manager, the belief in the methods. It's going, if not gone, and that's really hard to watch.
How can you have a belief in a manager who has zero belief in himself? He said, "I'm not confident," and we've seen it. We've seen it with tactics. I mean, imagine doing the same thing in training for 3 years and nothing's changed. Like, regardless of the result, you're doing the same thing week in, week out. How can you be inspired? Like, what's so inspiring about this? There's nothing inspiring about Roy Hodgson. He'll keep us up. I feel sorry for the players. I feel sorry for us as well in a way. Where, yes, we're only Crystal Palace, but we're not getting the best out of the squad.
Patrick, I'm gonna throw this to you, right, as a question. And I know you essentially can't be asked with this, but but here's a question anyway, right?
Yeah.
If somebody was to say to you after this game, it's Man City, what do you expect? Why are you angry about losing to Man City? They're better than Palace, but everyone knows they're better than Palace. What are you angry about? You know, what are you frustrated about? What would you say to that person?
Well, honestly, I wouldn't. I'm not upset, and I would say they're probably right. But what I would counter that by saying is that we haven't lost to them in the last 3 seasons there, so we can get results. I'd be angry at the way that we set up and the way we play, not in the loss. Because I go back to, I can always take a loss for Palace, but what I can't take under this manager is the way that we play and the way we set up. It's boring to me. It shows lack of ambition. It just says to me, let's just stay up. Let's get enough points. So what do I expect out of this game? This is why I told you, I said, 3-0? It's 2-0, so we're almost there. So I didn't expect anything from it, especially when we were playing this season, but it's just boring to me. If you played Gyro and you played Benteke and Batshuayi and we lost 3-0, I'd be like, we're trying. But to me, it's just boring to me. We don't have any kids on the bench. It just that's what kills me. It's not the losing to them, because they're much better than us. Much, much better than we'll ever be. I think get taken over by a shake, but it's just boring. He never changed anything. Even his 4-5-1 is not different. It's like we said a lot of times last season. So it's just the boring part of it that drives me nuts, not the losing part. Because God knows I'm used to losing as a Palace supporter. Trust me. It's just that I want to look at something, bright. A great example is yesterday the U18s beat Fulham on top of the league, and I'm saying to myself, in 5 years it'd be great. But the problem is, in 5 years, he might still be here. You know what I mean? I'm being facetious. But my point is, I want to look forward to the future at least, something to look forward to. And it's just so going back to the original question, Hambo. I'm not upset that we're losing or that we're going to lose. It's just the manner of it. It's just boring to me. That's why I can't be asked anymore. That's what it comes down to. So a
lot of people are saying the same things in the chat there, aren't they?
I'm tired of watching. At the end of the day, if we got results, I would be happy. But for a long time, this is Man City. Forget about the Man City game. If you're looking at this season as a whole, we haven't been getting the results that we should be getting. We lost 2-0 against Newcastle. We struggled. We gave Burnley the first win. Like, we've had so many games.
Yeah, but Diyar,
we get something out of it, and we haven't. We're not getting a result.
Diyar, what team is in? What team's top of the league?
Huh?
We beat them. What team's top of the league? We beat them. So and Southampton, how are they doing this year? We beat them too. How's Tottenham doing? How we got a point off for them? I mean, you know what I mean? That's the problem. He actually has gotten results. So he's actually gotten results. It's frustrates the heck out of me. He's gotten results, and it's still boring to me.
Wait. No. But there's so many things about that. First of all, start of the season, Man United, they were as awful as Arsenal.
I'm not defending that. I agree.
I would say Man United one was a result. The Southampton one was a result. I will take that. Southampton one was a result. Tottenham one as well. I'll take that.
Right.
But that's only 2. We're talking about 2.
What about West Ham? How are they doing this season?
They're doing well.
Got a point off them. Got a point off for them. I mean, I want to be. Your logic makes sense, and I want to go with it. But unfortunately, he's gotten results. And that's why people who support him will always say he gets. Because they're right. If you look at just the results, forget when we play teams. He's gotten results. It's not just the Burnley losses and the Newcastle losses. But, we've actually beaten some decent sides. So people will say, "Well, stop complaining because we've beaten some teams," and that's what gets me upset. He pulls out results. He does. But please go. Just go. Go away. Leave already.
just going to turn Patrick's volume down again.
Yeah, Patrick. Yeah, I don't know what happens, but it was crazy. I still feel like, yes, Patrick, you mentioned the game said, but I feel like as a whole, we haven't got the results this season.
You're right. But if you look at it, Diyar, we have. That's what's frustrating. You're right. But
in the past, we have. I think in the past we have. I don't think this season we have. You can't. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I just named you 4 teams in the top 6 we got points off of. So I just named you. Man United, Southampton. Don't count. It don't count.
Leicester City. Where are they sitting? 4th, 3rd. You can't listen. Then you sound like me. You sound like me. Yeah. You can't do that. Unfortunately, a result's a result. You want to talk about when we beat them, what team they put out. He's gotten results against some top teams. It's not a nice fact, but it's true. I hate to say it, but it's true. He's gotten results against top teams. He has. He just has. I don't know how. I don't know how he's done it, but he's done it. So
I don't know what I'm more annoyed about. You two arguing about something you agree on, or
exactly
idiots in the chat posting things. You're shit. Yeah, we know, mate. We're just talking.
We know. Trust me, we know. You have to tell us. We know. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
we know. We know.
Jesus Christ.
We know.
But anyway,
you don't even know us. Say something like that. We're already arguing how shit we are here. You can tell. So it's not like it phases us when you say we're shit. We already know we're shit.
Oh no! Some glory hunting fan on YouTube wants to call our team shit. We're
exactly. Yeah. Well, we've never heard that before. So unique. What a unique point of view.
You've actually been and seen our teams. You fuckwit. Anyway.
All right. So 66 minutes gone by, and still no changes. So you talked about that midfield, Hambo, before, but surely now we change it about, because honestly, what have we done?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I was going to ask. When you look at the game now, right? This is what you want from a manager. Let's not talk about who the manager is or what.
Exactly. Right? A manager, right?
If you're looking at a manager in this situation, we're playing a team much better than us. So you're trying to weigh a few things up on. You're trying to think, well, I don't want us to get another Tonkin, as we're probably about to concede again.
Shit. Oh yeah, why can't we
that'd be good. But you know what I mean. You don't want to get another Tonkin, but you've got to do something different, right? We are, I know what's going to happen. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It was on the cards. I said it
from before. Yeah, exactly.
Because I can feel it, and there you go. But anyway, so eventually that will happen on my screen. But the point remains the same, right? Is it really worth protecting anything, or can you look at the bench? Stones with a double.
Exactly. John Stones with 2 goals. I mean, seriously.
John Stones.
John Stones has not scored a Premier League goal his whole career. He scored 2 goals today.
He's gonna have a hat-trick.
Peak. Yeah, I hope so. No, I said 3-0, so we need to stop now. We're good. 3-0, like what I said, so we're good. Stop right there.
If I could predict things before they happen, why am I so shit at Fantasy Premier League?
What is that? All right, let's look at this back. So another corner into the box. Tompkins gets, he loses the header. Who is it? Someone wins it over Jenkins. And no one picks, Gareth Cahill doesn't pick up John Stones. Shit defending again.
But there we go. So, I mean, what's the point now, right? What can you get out of this game? Oh, Gyro's on. Hooray, just in time.
Yep, put him on for Luca, right?
That's what I'm talking about. He's trolling us.
Yeah, he really is. Luca's
laughing because I would be laughing as like, why would you put him on when you're 3-0 down? What do you expect the guy to do? What do you expect him to do? We talked about this at half time. Change in midfield. We're 1-0 down. Why does he do this? He does this. He's down all the time for like 30 seconds. He loves taking a piss out of him. And I'm getting pissed off.
Genuinely, I'm not just saying this for like to make a joke out of it. I think that's the speed he works at. I promise you that's what it is. He cannot make quick decisions. The only time he makes quick decisions is when he has to, because someone's injured or sent off or something like that. Every other time, it's the change that you kind of think is the right change to make, but it's 15 minutes after it should be every time.
Every time.
He cannot make decisions quick enough to be a Premier League manager anymore. He's always been like it, from what people who've watched him manage their clubs before. But I think he's worse than ever. In the 4 years he's been at Palace, year on year, that part of it's got worse and worse. That ability to read what's happening on the pitch and make changes, not necessarily a sub, but a system change, or or swap a couple of wingers or something like that. It just doesn't happen. It's always way too late to do anything about what you're seeing in front of you, and that's why he's got to go.
It's not even we're never going to see system change out of him, because the only thing he knows is a letter A, plan A. That's it. He doesn't know nothing about B, C, D. We've never seen it in the last 3 years. But even the personnel change, like, you can't. I don't understand it. Why wait until you're 3 goals down when he hasn't been working for the even first half? The midfield, yes, they were there, but it's not like they've done anything decent. They were solid. You bring on Jaru, who's a better player, at half time, and give him an opportunity. You have to wait till you're 3-0 down. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get what we're trying to do half the time. No. But we approach this game not to lose 7-0, but we're losing 3-0, and this could easily be 4. Is this a good result? Did Russian tactics work?
Absolutely not. And look, you're not going to sack a manager off the back of losing to Man City, but you can sack a manager. You can sack a manager off the back of everything that led up to it.
Exactly.
Because of the direction right. No, and part of me, I hate to admit, understands why you wouldn't, but
Do you know what they put up? They put on the screen here on a sub on Wickham off Kuyate. That's at the top of my screen. I just said it. I swear to you. On Wickham off Kuyate. What was that from like 3 years ago?
That's probably how confused that Roy is. They asked him what sub he was making. He's
exactly.
Like, I'm probably going to put Connor on, get Shake off, give him a bit of a rest.
Amazing. Jay, honestly, I'll read out Jay's comment. Yes, it's against City. Yes, Zaha isn't playing, but we're defending for the whole game, hoping to keep the score down. And we're not Zaha FC, so we can't blame it as it's not there. If Zaha was here, what could he do when he's getting 0 service?
Yeah, he was
done nothing. He would have made a difference. Yeah,
no difference. Not to today's game. Yeah, not today's game.
It's good that he got rest in a way, because what can he do when we can't even pass the ball up without losing it? We can't make a basic pass. So it's not a Zaha situation. Like, Wilf isn't playing. Yes, I heard that, but we can't even get the ball up there. So
no, absolutely. There's an argument that if he would get some possession, and there's an argument that he has more capability than anybody else in the squad to do something a little bit out of the ordinary, right? But no, it wouldn't have changed the result in this game whatsoever. Not one bit. But I don't know. Just what can you say about And I didn't see all the comments. I can only rely on what people have said. But I saw bits of Roy talking about how scared he was and how the whole team had been picked around trying to match the running and the effort from Man City players, right? But if he genuinely came out and said that, effectively, I expect to lose this game, or it's going to be really hard to get anything, it's not the attitude you want to go into games with. And it just goes back to something I talk about a lot, which was the comments from ex-Liverpool and ex-England players, where he was, managing big name players who just simply said, this is a manager who basically tells you to be fearful of the opposition, no matter who you are and no matter who they are. And that's what we've done today. Would it have been any different if we had a different manager saying different things? Don't know. They're better than us. But, I can damn well say that there's plenty of games. Diyar, you picked out Newcastle and Burnley. Those were the two this season that just absolutely just cemented in my mind that I can't take any more of this. And those were games where we just absolutely surrendered to poor opposition. So there we go. It just feels like a waiting game now until it's all over, and who knows what will come next and what sort of a squad that person will have.
Well, who we got next game? We got West Ham.
West Ham, yeah.
Tuesday. It's on a Tuesday, yeah. So I don't know. With West Ham, we've got Newcastle coming up. We've got Wolves coming up. We have to pick up points there. We just have to. And there's going to be no excuses. We can say yes, it's against City, but just look at us. Like, seriously, the team just looks absolutely shambolic. We haven't. Have we had the shot on target yet? Yes, it's City, but
no, one apparently.
So.
It said.
One. Just trying to think when that was.
Don't know when it was, but apparently we've had a shot on goal.
Probably quite a generous shot on target. But there's a couple of comments that I agree in the chat with. One is from Sean saying that Villa was the worst, and I agree with that. That was far worse than Liverpool. It was humiliating, the Villa game. Okay, you've ruined it. And then Owen's got in with our next 7 games are winnable. I admire your optimism, mate. I really, genuinely do.
Well, I guarantee we'll win a couple of them because he'll always get a result out of someone. That's why he's never going to go anywhere. But so we'll definitely beat someone in the next 7 games. We definitely will beat someone.
RPMD, we all have different views of how we see games. And you say we battered Burnley, we didn't score because we're awful attackers. That's your view of it. I don't share that. I thought, we didn't create proper chances, and okay, we missed a few things, but ultimately we just handed way too much the initiative to them in that game. For me, that's just my view. Yours is different. That's fine. You can have different views to us.
Yeah, Christine, I've said many times I don't think he would be in charge. I think last season he would have got sacked if the fans were in the stadium. Said it over and over again. First of all, I've been at Selhurst when we have been winning games, and even then people were frustrated. It's like, what is the point? We're not attacking. We're not scoring goals. And imagine if we lost 7 in a row. I don't think he's there. No way would we have allowed that as fans. I think he would have been gone. It would have been so toxic, but he's lucky. And
that whole restart thing. Like, I know we keep going over similar ground, but it's hard not to, isn't it? Because that's exactly what we watch every week. But you go back to that, and the thing we've talked about before around him saying we had to learn lessons from playing the same players week in, week out, not rotating the squad and all that kind of stuff. And today we've seen that rotation, but half the players just haven't played any football. Go on.
Go on. Oh, penalty! No. Corner for it. He's on the ground crying.
No, nothing, mate.
Sean's saying that Eddie Howe was at the Soho offices, and look,
Yeah. Don't get me started on that. Don't get my hopes up, please.
We'll see, because I have absolutely I've heard all sorts of stuff, but I have zero doubt that let's just say that he's a man on our list if we're looking to make a change anytime soon. He wanted a year out of the game by all accounts, so it makes sense that Roy's contract would end, and if he was the choice, he would be the one to come in. But I've said long before now that I think you've got to make that change as soon as somebody's ready, whoever that might be. I just think let's just draw a line under it now, personally.
I just love how Patrick just switched locations.
Yeah, I've gone home. I've gone back to Selhurst. I can't stand at the head anymore. I couldn't take it. Yeah, I had to go home.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Roy complains about not having a striker all last season. Parish gives him Belgian international striker.
Exactly. It's maddening.
Yeah. No, seriously. No. See, seriously, I have to address stuff like that. I'm having a problem with Parish because I feel he's too accommodating. But I understand what Parish's agenda is, keep us in the league. But he has gone out in the last 3 seasons and gotten this man. He got Cameras last year. He got Eze, who finally he's starting to play. He got Batshuayi, and he doesn't want to play these players. I don't understand. Like, is it a disconnect between Parish, Friedman, and Hodgson, or is it just that as long as he keeps us in the league, nobody cares what he does because he got Batshuayi and doesn't play him. He hasn't. We are now this is the 18th game of the season. I'm not sure how many games he played so far this season, and I think Batshuayi played like 4 games all year, 5 games. It's ridiculous.
This is the 19th, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. Right. Oh, he's coming on now. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah. That's just in time again. But no, seriously, Patrick. On the
78th or 79th minute.
Yeah, he's coming on now. With us down 3-0 away from home with no hope of getting a goal or a shot on goal. Bring on Batshuayi. And if he doesn't do well, it's Batshuayi's fault. I don't get
answering that question. In answering that question, if you go back to what's been said publicly about how it all works, right, at Palace, which is, the manager says these are the positions I want you to look at.
Right.
The sporting director, Dougie Friedman, works with Parish and the scouting team. They go and find different options in those positions. They then go back to the manager and say, we found these players. Which players do you want? Right. And Roy says, the oldest ones, please. Generally. But,
McCarthy, Gary Cahill. Right. Got you.
Yeah. And people say, "Oh, Roy hasn't been back." He genuinely has got the players that he asked for, and again, I can't verify that the things I've been told are true always, but I do trust people who tell me them. And if I was to reel off the list of things that I've been told in terms of players he's turned down, it would melt some of your brains. That's all I'm going to say. So, whether that's true or not, it's here or there. But basically, I honestly think if you give him the players that he asks for off the list that you provide of who's available, affordable, he still will always go with this kind of mentality of these are the people that I trust, and until they do something dramatically wrong, I'm not going to pick anybody else over them. And there was a player, I won't name, who we were going to look at bringing in at right back a while back, and from what I heard, the manager was like, "Well, get him in if you want, but Joel Ward's my first choice right back for next season." And it was just like, and that player is now playing for a much higher Premier League team than us.
No, this is what I'm trying to say. If you had the option, if you gave Roy 3 players, you're like, Roy, pick out these players: Trent Alexander-Arnold, Aaron Bissaka, Glenn Johnson. He will pick Glenn Johnson. He will pick Glenn Johnson.
Great example.
And you guys are
right.
It is true.
I'm laughing because it's true.
That's why we will never progress. We will never progress under him.
I have a question.
I
have a question.
Sorry, I just want to say that is Diyar's. He has a moment every watch where he says something that's just spectacular, and that was it. Well done, Diyar.
That was it. Brilliant. So, question: if Ferguson was fit, and we hadn't signed Klein, you think he'd be playing right now? I bet he wouldn't be playing right now.
Is that?
No, I'm serious. You can never play. You
can
never play Mitchell and Ferguson at left and right back at the same time. It would never happen. So I mean, it's ridiculous. Seriously, and I'm telling you, if Schlupp was fit and Townsend was playing well, and we wouldn't have seen Eze. We would never have seen him play either. So it's boring, man. It's just the same. It's just the same stuff all over. As soon as he's out of here, the better off we'll be. That's all I got to say. Again, what is Andros doing? I swear to you, it's such a bad decision. They're showing a goal again, by the way. They're going to 1 goal. What a shot!
God. Yeah, it was a great finish.
Like, seriously, I feel like we've been talking loads, but we haven't actually done anything. We've had that situation where you drive through, and there was that penalty call, and then what else was there? I think that's it.
2 goals by Man City. That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
2 Man City goals. That's about it.
I do honestly think, right, when Roy does go, right, which will happen at some point. I do think I will be able to look back and look at the fact that when I don't have to watch it anymore, I will be able to look back and appreciate Palace staying in the league as long as they did.
Yes,
I'll certainly be able to appreciate the work he did when he came in. When he first came in, really sorted the team out and worked with what was not the best squad to get some really impressive results. And there's always been games here and there dotted about that have given us really good memories. And I'll be relieved to be able to talk about Roy in a positive way for the great things that he did. This kills me, the fact that I can't stand him at the moment. And, and I don't want to feel like that because I respect him and and what he's done for us. But it's just it's torture at the moment.
Yeah, I honestly I feel like our best formation with these group of players that we got is either 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. I feel like just 4-4-2. We're not in the early 2000s. Like, we have to progress. We can't keep playing like this. You have to look as a manager. You have to look as a manager. You have to think, maybe this isn't working. Yes, it'll work. It might work with Fulham in about 2008 to 2009. I can't exactly remember what years it were. But we're talking about a whole new decade. We're in a different decade right now. We're using the same tactics. The game progressed.
I agree, Diyar, but we're not using the old 4-4-2, big man, small man, 2 center forwards. We're using more of a 4-2. We really do play more of a 4-3-3. Because Will says he plays as a striker, but he's not really playing as a striker. He's really not. He's playing off of Benteke. Benteke is the main focal point when he plays, and we have someone to the left and right of him. So, I know what you're saying. And when we defend with 5 in the middle. We always drop back 5 with Benteke up top by himself. Anyway, I know what you're saying, but I don't think that's one thing I can't get on him for the 4-4-2 thing because I don't really think we play a 4-4-2 So. Anyway, it's just me. You
can say it's a bit fluid, but it is still more of a 4-4-2 than, as you say, a 4-3-3 in general. It is.
Yeah, look, we got generally it is, and let's face it, it's so Wilf can play centrally. And
exactly right.
That's why we do it.
Right.
He don't want to play wide left where he gets marked.
Track back. Exactly. Track back. Players. Yeah, exactly.
But there we are. I mean, today we've played 4-5-1, trying to go to a 4-3-3 at times.
Hasn't really worked.
But maybe twice, and it's not been great. So I I don't think I'm going to pick out the system as the issue. I'm going to pick out the mentality as the issue, as I always do.
I agree. It's the mentality and the players that he picks and the way he wants them to play. If you send some of these players out with a different mentality, wanting to play a different way, I think it'd be more interesting to watch. Again, we're not going to turn over City for the third time, at their stadium. But again, it could be more interesting, more exciting. And as soon as we went down 1-0, we all know what's going to happen. And again, as I go back to it, bar the Spurs match, when we go to 1-0, it is over. We're not coming back. Yeah. So it wasn't going to be no different today.
I thought and I think I might have said this at the time, but just in case I didn't, I will say it. I think the Leicester game, the whole kind of halftime rant thing, told us an awful lot about that mentality issue, because clearly we played terribly in the first half of that game and then responded to an absolute bollocking from Ray. So obviously the players have it in them to play in a much more confident, aggressive way. So the fact that we don't has to come from the message in terms of how we're setting up, how we're approaching the opposition, what we're focused on, during the course of the 90 minutes. And the idea that we had to change so dramatically, it shouldn't point to what a great halftime rousing team talk that was. Well done, everybody.
Exactly.
It should point to, why the hell did it take that? Why the hell did it take, Ray Lewington nearly killing himself shouting at the players for them to actually snap out of it? And it's because the belief isn't there in what we're trying to do. They can't enjoy this, right? The players can, surely.
Can you imagine being Will every season? The objective for the club that you're at is just to stay up. Like, what is there to be? How can you look forward to next season? Exactly. How can you look forward to next season? Saying, yes, I can't wait. Let's go and stay up again. Like, he's better than that. We've got better players than what we try to achieve. Of course, they're not going to be inspired if you, as a manager, is going to say, and as not only as a manager, you as a football club, because we are the ones that's hired Roy, and we're happy with where we are. If you, as a football club, is going to be happy with just staying up.
I'm sorry, Diyar. I'm gonna cut you off because you'll see something in a minute. I know you like James McCarthy, but I'm telling you right now, I can't stand him as a player. I really can't. And I know it's like a focal point because I'm anti-Roy, but I don't see what he brings to our team. Forget the club in general, maybe the leader in the club. I'm telling you right now, I don't know what James McCarthy does, because when I see him play, he absolutely does nothing positive. Yeah, I mean,
what's that challenge?
What is exactly?
He was good before the injury. I don't know, man. Recently, he's just dropped off. He's gone back to the James McCarthy we know.
I know what you're saying, Diyar.
We don't need a player like that. We need. I'd rather see. I don't know who the best midfielder is in our academy, but I'd rather see a young academy player get a chance to see James McCarthy. What's the point? What is the point?
Bronson scores again from.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Sterling.
Well, yeah, he did score, so I'll spoil it for you. It's a great free kick.
What?
So who picked 4-0?
You scored.
All right, Patrick.
He scored. Sterling.
He scored. Yeah, watch. Yeah. Great free kick.
Oh man.
And I think James McCarthy makes a stupid
tackle.
Take
it, Sterling. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. That's quality free kick. Yeah, but it's the foul, isn't it?
It's the foul.
Back again.
We go back. Why bother? Why AF it? Why would you make that tackle? And he's a veteran. It's not like he's a kid. If it's a kid that makes it, he's young, but he's a veteran player, international player, played for Everton, Wigan, whatever. Won the FA Cup, and he does that. Come on, man! Don't need him in the lineup. You don't need him in the lineup. That's just stupid, man.
Patrick, my watch just buzzed, and the message said, "Time's up, Roy."
If only. Seriously.
We set up the team not to lose 7-0. Well, we lost 4-0.
There you go. Job done. Didn't lose 7. Yeah. There's still a few minutes left.
We lost 4-0. Imagine, our only objective was to defend, and we lost 4-0. So maybe, you know what? I can't blame him because...
just straight from the kickoff. We managed to give the ball away with 2 passes to the kickoff.
We can't pass. Like, it's beyond ridiculous now. Forget about that. I'm not even talking about that. But I'm just looking at it. Like, we literally approached this game with not conceding a goal, and we conceded 4 goals. Imagine if we changed the system. We would have lost 7-0 again. We would have. Yeah. And it's just shambolic. We don't have any plan B to counter whatever they call. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's 4-0 once again. Rubbish performance.
Did it again. Anyway.
Why can't we pass the ball?
You keep talking about Plan B as well. What the hell was Plan A today? Jesus, man.
Plan A, I'm telling you what Plan A was. It was to not concede. And yet, we still conceded 4 goals. Our literal hope, you saw what he said pre-match. He said to Jordan Ayew, he runs around. You know, he can go and defend. Literally, 11 players go and defend, and we still conceded 4 goals. So, I'm lost for words. Why?
Luke's turned. He was positive at half time, but he's gone right out now and he can't be asked. Feel it, Luke. I feel your pain.
It's an absolute joke, man. Absolute joke. Our objective was to not concede, and we still managed to concede 4 goals. Literally, with 11 players sitting back. 11. And we
the post-match is going to be so interesting. You got to watch it. Because I guarantee he won't say anything negative about it. Oh, you know, what do you expect us to do? You know, we only 1.5. You know, we were tired from the Arsenal match. We were missing Wilf and Kouyaté, blah, 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 blah.
He will say we played well in the first half to get him 1-0 down. And he will actually believe that for a start. He will believe it.
That's what flipping pisses me off, Hambo. When he says stuff like that and he believes it, like he's actually genuinely believing that we played well. He said it so many times this season when we played absolutely shit.
He'll feel validated by the fact that he said before the game that it was going to be difficult and we were probably going to lose. He'll feel validated about that. And that just, he doesn't understand he must understand the
you can't do that.
Between mentality and whatever.
And by the way, my son just said it. Gary Cahill is finished, guys. He really is. He's done. Gary Cahill is done. I'm sorry.
What do you expect from the first 5-year-old in the first? I mean, he had a very good season last one. Last season.
He's done.
But how can you expect him to go and play that many games and be that?
Well, Hudson does because he keeps playing him. I mean, he hasn't done a lot of choices, but he's playing him anyway.
He's a youth player to Roy.
Has he got another year with us? I mean, if this is his end of his contract, I think I genuinely think he'll retire at the end of the season. He said something the other day which was a bit weird. He was, we're talking about him coming back into the team. I think it was a Palace TV interview, and they said to him, you know, he's enjoying your football, and he said, "Yeah, I just want to, play as long as I can, keep going, and see how it goes." And it's like, okay. He's obviously thinking about calling it quits. I would. If I was playing in this team.
Well, for the post-match fan show, if you want to jump on, DM us on Twitter or DM me, and I'll try to bring you on. We're going to be having Palace fans on, having their say on this game. Will be interesting to see what you guys think about it, so let us know. And also, I'll put the link in the description of the video for the post-match fan show. So head over there after this finishes, and you can click the link and join. So you don't have to only DM us, you can click the link and join. But it's full time, yes!
Wait. Do you want a stat?
Yeah,
John Stones he not only scored 2 goals, he completed over 112. He completed 112 passes today.
We're watching him play
112 passes.
We're watching him play football. We were not in this game to go and attack and press them. We were just watching John Stones and the midfield, not only him. But anyways,
Yeah. We completed 196 passes as a team. I mean, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I'll be honest with you. Look at the passes. But thank you to everyone who's joined us. Leave a like and subscribe if you have enjoyed the content. But before we go, Hambo and Patrick, quickly your thoughts on the game. No, let's do this. Let's end it quickly. Hambo, forward review.
No, I can't be forward. Don't make me do that. Can I just? I'll just say something quick, right?
All right, cool.
They're better than us, but that overall performance was not acceptable. Even against a team as good as Man City, who have really hit a bit of form, it's still not good enough to put that together. Yes, angry at the manager for the mentality, blah 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 blah. But the players too. The players have to look at themselves about why they can't make a simple pass, why they can't take that bit of initiative during the game and try and find their own way during the course of the half when the manager and the coaching staff can't really have an impact. Do they have the freedom to do that? I don't know. I'm just saying most teams do. The captain, the influential players get together in the course of the game and try and deal with the problems that they're facing. And we didn't see any of that today. We saw a team going through the motions, and we got very much what we deserved. So I'm just really disappointed. I'm not surprised to lose. I'm not even surprised at how we lost. but I'm still disappointed with that level of performance. It's not good enough.
Yeah, Patrick, we're speaking about a dream game. You're not happy as well. Next game against West Ham, I think we've got a week off, thankfully. No more Palace. We have to approach that game and we have to win it, really, don't we?
Why?
Because it's
Why?
not good enough.
It's not good enough, but why? I mean, we're not going to get relegated. We're not going to get to Europe. Why do we have to win that match? I mean, nothing's going to, again, this is the thing. I would actually rather lose matches if it speeds up the manager losing or leaving. So you say we have to win that match, but why? We're not like we're in a relegation battle yet. So it's not like, I mean, what's the point? I mean, at this point, Hambo really did sum it up beautifully. But at this point now, we just need to go through the motions and get to the end of the season and move on, because at this point, nothing's going to change with the manager tactically, the mentality wise. So until he's gone, it's the same old, same old. So my thing is just wrap up the season quickly. We're halfway through the season now. Let's get through the next 19 matches and move on.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm going to be going and joining you guys for the post-match fan show. So if you've enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, up the Palace.